Welcome everyone to our third installment of Triathlete Interview. Today I'm here with Patrick Mckeon. Thank you for coming in here today at RallySport. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, Peter.
So one of the first things, Patrick, we want to ask you today, just kind of getting to know your background with you being an athlete, is how did you get involved with triathlons?
Well, I grew up playing soccer and lacrosse, and I played tennis and a bunch of other sports, but I never was really into running or biking or swimming, especially swimming. But yeah, in 2009, I went and watched my mom race Kona Ironman, and that was the first time I had really watched a triathlon. And after that, I kind of caught the bug and really wanted to do one. And it took me I think like 3 more years till I finally started doing them. So 2012, I started doing triathlon. Just started training after watching her do Kona and was pretty inspired. So,
what were the few takeaways you'd say from Kona?
Well, I remember the most vivid thing I remember was watching Crowe run down the Alihi Drive to finish, and I really had no idea what triathlon was or endurance sports for that matter. But I just remember thinking, man, that guy looks super fit, and I wish I could look like that too. That was a big one. And then I ran 10 miles with my mom, like in the dark, down Alihi Drive. Because I felt bad that she was by herself, and I remember that was just a special moment when I was pretty engaged in somebody else's journey, like really there for someone else. And I think that's a big thing about this sport is there's a lot of ways to be there for other people. And so those were 2 of the biggest takeaways, I think, for me. Yeah.
Awesome. So you've been competing then since, correct me if I'm wrong, 2012?
About 2012, I started doing triathlons. Yeah. Started racing like 70.3s and stuff, maybe like 2013. I had a season off in 2015 due to some pretty bad injuries, and then I started racing pro the middle of last year, and this is like my first real year as a pro. Yeah.
Awesome. And what would you say motivates you now? I mean, it sounds like you had some influence from you seeing your family at Kona, but tell us a little bit about what motivates you today.
Well, what motivates me is the same thing that's motivated me every day since I started doing triathlon, and that's in 2008 2008 I got sober from drugs and alcohol. So was that 2008 or it was longer than that? It might have been, actually, I forget. But anyways, that's kind of motivated me every day since I spent most of my teenage years using drugs and alcohol and kind of wasting my life away, and I was given a second chance, and I wanted to be a professional athlete, and that motivates me every single day. Yeah, so.
Wow, that's really inspiring.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's good for you. That's awesome. What type of cross training do you currently engage with today?
I like to go on hikes with my girlfriend, Mary Miller, and my family whenever they're in town. I'm always up for like stand-up paddle boarding or even surfing once in a while. I'll give that a shot if we're by the ocean. I like to play all sorts of sports like tennis and stuff, but I have to be careful because we're not very good at moving sideways, so I don't want to get injured. But I do go mountain biking a lot, which I consider a cross training, and I really enjoy mountain biking, except when I have to go with my coach, Julie Divins, because she usually beats up on me pretty good. So.
Where do you like to ride here in Colorado?
Yeah, we ride right around here. There's lots of great dirt roads. We also go down to Buffalo Creek, which is a cool place to go, and Patasso. There's plenty of good places around here, and did a trip to Steamboat Springs last summer, which was pretty awesome. There's some pretty cool mountain biking there, and there's lots of places to explore.
Cool. Now, what do you eat for fuel when you're competing during race day?
During race day, well, this was like my real first Ironman I ever prepared for, and I think with 70.3 you can kind of get away with kind of doing whatever you want. Obviously, I think it's good to have a plan, but you don't want to eat something new on race day. But for Ironman, I ate a pretty decent sized breakfast early in the morning, about like 600 calories. Like 3 or 4 hours before the race, and then on race day I just use Infinite Nutrition, which is just like a liquid nutrition. I just put in my bottles, and I drink about 4 bottles, and it adds up to about 1,600 calories, and it has all the carbohydrates and salts and stuff I need in there. And then I'll grab some water and Gatorade on the course if I need it, and then on the run just take in Coke as much as possible, and I use Cliff Blocks, energy blocks. I use those about every 2 miles, and that seemed to work okay. I faded a little bit, so I'll try to add some more stuff in next time, but I do think it's important to have a very personalized plan going into an Ironman for sure.
Any peanut butter and jellies? I've heard just a few.
No, I don't. Peanut butter doesn't. I can't do peanut butter. That doesn't sit well. Maybe almond butter.
Okay.
But no, not really. I don't really eat too many solid foods I didn't eat any solid foods during Ironman Boulder.
Okay.
So I don't think I would yeah, I don't think I would go for that. But hey, if it works for you, go for it.
Even for breakfast, what was it? What did breakfast consist?
Actually, breakfast I did. I ate like what did I have? 2 pieces of toast with like some honey and almond butter, and then a banana, some applesauce, and like a little whey protein drink.
But something light, nothing heavy, right? I guess.
No. Like for me at least, I like to get all my calories in about a day and a half before the race. Load up on carbohydrates and stuff like that, and then even the night before I eat a pretty small dinner. So
tell us a little bit more about Ironman Boulder. We were following you throughout the day. You did very well. Congratulations on that.
Oh, thanks.
Tell us a little bit more about your thoughts from Ironman Boulder.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it went as good as I think it could have gone for me. I was happy with 4th place. Justin Dare had an amazing day, and I felt really bad for what happened to him and Leon. But yeah, I mean, I just put myself in the position to get bumped up to 3rd, and that's great. And I'll take it, and I'm happy about it. I mean, yeah, I put a lot into Boulder, a lot of training and a lot of sacrifices, and I learned a lot that day. I think I learned that that's more of a distance that suits me than 70.3s. So I'll continue to kind of pursue that. I just like the headspace you have to kind of get into. It's at a certain point during the day, and you have to start asking yourself some of those questions that, like, why you're doing it and what keeps you motivated and what keeps you going. And I think I have a lot of answers to those questions. So I tend to find it really enjoying. I actually just found it to be a really happy, relaxing day for me until about mile 22, and then it was trying to survive. But yeah, like I just loved it. I loved every second of it.
So then during that day, so mile 22, is this during the
run? Yeah.
What was going on during that moment?
I think what happens to mostly everybody, at some point your body just starts to kind of shut down and fight back. And yeah, I was just really struggling. But yeah, I just go back to that place when I was in rehab, and I was like, 200 pounds and running on the treadmill and just kind of trying to figure out what the hell to do with my life. And if I can get myself back into that place and look at how far I've come since then, I know I can get through the last 4 miles of a marathon. So yeah.
It's finding that determination.
I think so. Finding something that motivates you and determines you to keep moving. Yeah.
Awesome. So what would you say is the hardest part about competing for you?
Swimming.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm not a very good swimmer. I'm working on it. I'm working very hard on it. I think the hardest part is the ups and downs. It was obviously you're coming off a 3rd place in your first Ironman. You get a real high. You're on top of the world kind of, and then you have to come back down to reality because people forget quickly, and you just got to get back into the routine and try to find a way to get ready for the next event. And I've found that the hardest thing to do as a professional. I think a lot of age groupers think, well, we have a ton of time on our hands, so we're always fit, we're always ready to race. But it's not really the case. I mean, there's an emotional toll that gets taken out of you when you're racing, and when you're racing well or if you're racing poorly. So I think being able to kind of take the punches or come down from the highs and keep moving forward and keeping focus on the big picture, I think that's the hardest thing. But it's just about managing it, and I think I do a pretty good job of it.
And I would say probably moving forward, you probably have a good amount of confidence in yourself and your ability to perform.
Yeah, I think you have to have confidence in yourself. Yeah. I always say if you're in a profession and you don't think you can be the best, then you should probably start doing something else, because if you don't have something to work for every single day, you're not going to get any better. And you might never become the best, and you may never be as good as you want to be, but you got to try. So I think believing in yourself is a big part of that.
Awesome. Then what do you think about while you're competing? Either maybe this is during the running, take us to mile 22 and you're having a little bit difficulty with there, or maybe when you're swimming and it sounds like that is the most difficult part of the Ironman. Take us, what is your mindset during the race?
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason I like Ironman is because I have more opportunity to find that place where you're not thinking about anything. Obviously in the beginning of the race there's lots of nerves, and then the swim, your head's underwater and you're at the very beginning of a very long day, so there are a lot of thoughts that start to creep in, and I think you just have to focus on whatever it is, your stroke or your breathing, something simple, not like motivating thoughts, because it's too early in the day. I think it's important to try to just focus on whatever on your body, on your breathing, on your strokes, and then later on in the day I like to get to a place where I'm not thinking about anything, just getting nutrition in, putting one foot forward, and just doing what I know my body can do, because for me at least, if I overthink it, it doesn't usually end well for me.
Now on the bike, that's the longest stretch, right, with miles wise.
Yeah.
Does your mind go blank on that? You just kind of keep riding?
Yeah, like I really focus on my cadence, try to keep an eye on my power, just following my nutrition plan, things like that. Yeah, simple stuff. I don't think about a song or some sort of motivating thing. No, because I think that'll just distract me, honestly. So I just try to focus on whatever I need to do to just keep myself comfortable. Yeah.
So it sounds like you have a game plan and you pretty much stick to that.
For sure. Yeah, I'm a guy that likes to have everything planned out. Everything has to be orderly, and if I just follow that plan, then that's all I have to do, and I don't have to think about anything else. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, our next question was asking about where you've competed and what was your favorite race, but I think we've kind of, I mean...
Yeah, Boulder Ironman is my favorite race.
Probably, right? Yeah,
yeah, third place. If I get second or first place in any other race, that'll become my favorite. No, I mean, I really like Ironman Boulder. I'm a little bummed out that Timberman 70.3 is not around anymore, because that was definitely my favorite, but... there's a lot of races out there I'd like to go out and try. So,
have you competed mostly domestically here?
Yeah, for the most part. Typical American, just kind of sticking to the States. But I'd like to venture out. I'd like to go see Australia. I'd love to see some of Europe and do some different kinds of races, compete against some different types of athletes. And yeah, there's lots of opportunities in China. So I figured, you're in a profession, you get to travel, you might as well go see the world. So
yeah. Which, I know we just talked about a little bit difficulty with Ironman Boulder. And would you say that was the most difficult obstacle you had to overcome during a race recently?
Yeah, I had a really hard year last year. I didn't race very well. I was really sick, and there was a couple of races where I was walking most of the half marathon, like in 70.3s. Mm-hmm. And I remember Cozumel last year, I was sitting on the side of the road, like almost in tears, drinking a bottle of Coke. And I was really having a hard time, like wondering whether I wanted to keep doing the sport. So honestly, last year was just all in all pretty hard for me. But no, I think Ironman Boulder, I look back on it and think it was very hard.
Yeah. So it sounds like last year was pretty difficult.
Last year was more difficult, yeah.
And now looking back, do you look at it as the moments of a lot of growth, I'm sure?
For sure. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, I think coming out of stuff like that is when you grow the most, and it's easy to do well. It's hard to struggle and keep moving forward. So
Now, what accomplishment are you most proud of? If you had...
Yeah, it's got to be third at Ironman Boulder. It's been a long time coming since I had a breakthrough like that. I've come a long way. So
now tell us a little bit about that. Now you compete with, because you work out here at RallySport with fellow athletes that you even competed with on Ironman Boulder. What was that like to just, being on the podium with them? What is that like?
Well, I have a lot of friends. I think that's I mostly everyone, if not everyone in Ironman Boulder, I was kind of secretly cheering for to have a great day. I really like all the guys. We all seem to get along. There's no bad blood or anything, as well as women. So. It's fine. You cheer each other on, and then you see each other at swimming the next week, and you give each other a high five, and it's like, great job. Like, you want to beat everyone in race day, but I think outside of race day, you're happy to see everyone do well and stay healthy. So
now, do you, being a recent competitor and younger, I would say, do you look up or do you ask advice from the fellow athletes that you work out here at RallySport?
Yeah, I try not to directly ask advice, but I like to. Sort of pry and see what kind of information. I'm lucky that I get to hang out with some of the best athletes in the world. I train with Julie Dibbins' group, and we have, Tim Don, who's probably one of the best athletes in the history of the sport, and I train a lot with Tim O'Donnell and Tim Van Berkel and Sam Appleton, and these guys are, they're the best in the world. So just to even be around them and just watch what they do, it's a huge advantage for me. Someone coming up,
right. Motivation as well to see like this is where.
They're beating up on me pretty good now, so it can only make me better.
Right, but I'm sure seeing them as well as I know you guys are competitors, so they may not share everything with you,
right?
But they still probably want to see you succeed as well.
I think they do. I think I like to think that my friends cheer me on. I follow them. I go watch them in Kona and. They're inspiration for me, and I don't know if I'm an inspiration for them, but I think they like to see me do well, yeah.
I'm sure they like to see you around.
Yeah.
It's nice to see someone younger too, well. What would you say is your greatest strength then, when currently right now as an athlete?
I think that running is definitely my best. I think I'm still learning how to put together that run after a hard bike ride, which is a lot different, but running has always been my most comfortable and easiest. So I'd say that's and mental strength. I've been through a lot in my life, so I think I can overcome adversity.
I'd say so. There's sounds like a lot of difficult challenges. But you've
for
come
sure.
A long way.
Everyone has them. Yeah.
Congratulations on that. All right, we're kind of wrapping this up here. Some fun questions for you. What's your favorite food? It doesn't have to be for like. We're not saying you're on your race diet. What's your favorite food you like to eat?
My girlfriend makes a gluten-free pizza that is my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like cheese?
Pesto pizza.
Oh,
Gluten-free, dairy-free pesto pizza. It's
Awesome.
actually really good with chicken on it. Yeah, it's the best.
Awesome. You listen to any music?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of music. I really like Mumford and Sons. I actually like it sounds weird, but I like Mozart, Beethoven.
No, that's totally fine.
I actually think it's really calming and relaxing. So I'll listen to that a lot, and then just like classic rock, hip hop, all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Do you is there anything now? Do you listen to anything on race day before you go in?
I actually don't listen to music. I just put my headphones on so people won't talk to me.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then so there's no pump up song though before you go on.
No. I keep the heart rate down as much as possible.
Okay, great. I'm sure there's a little bit of nerves anyways. That
Yes.
you're talking about
Yeah,
before
for
you
sure.
go in. Now, what do you like to do when you're not racing? What do you? I mean, because being in Colorado, there's a lot to do.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my girlfriend and I love to go for long hikes and stuff. Big restaurant guy. Love going out to dinners. I love going down to Denver and exploring new restaurants and stuff. I'm big on going to nice resorts like the Four Seasons and stuff.
Yeah.
But I like to get pampered and do some, spa stuff with my girlfriend.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's nice to relax. Just explore. I love road trips. My girlfriend and I would love to go out, do some more camping maybe this off season. Kind of just do some stuff that's a little bit less frilly. And I love to go home and see my family, see Mary's family.
Now, where's home for you?
I'm from Philadelphia.
Okay, great.
Yeah, but this will be home for sure.
Awesome. And any sporting events you go to or not so much?
I haven't been to a sporting event in a while. I'd love to go see something different, maybe like a U.S. Open tennis, or maybe even go watch like some Formula One. Do something kind of. I've seen all the American sports. It'd be fun to go out and venture off and see some more international type of athletic events.
Yeah, of course. What is your favorite place to visit if you had to when during your off season?
Favorite place to visit. I love California.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent some time in Southern California, and I think it's a really cool place. There's lots of neat things to see up and down the coast. So I'd say California is probably one of my favorite places to go.
You like go surfing or anything?
Yeah, we do a little surfing. My uncle lives in Laguna Beach, so we have a nice place to stay. And then, do a little surfing. Just hang out at the beach. The towns are really cool. There's a lot of places to go see. Yeah.
Awesome. What last question we kind of want to ask you here is what brought you here to RallySport?
RallySport, I saw that all the athletes that were coming here, Cam Dye, a lot of great swimmers, and I just figured if it was working for them, it would work for me. But also, I train with Julie Dibbins, and this is where she's based out of, so really wherever she goes, I'd follow her around, but I would pay her to stay here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great place. Erin runs a great show, and I've been doing gym work with her, and it's changed my whole season. So yeah, I love it here. I think the vibe is great, and even the people that don't do triathlon, I think they embrace us as much as they can, and it's a great environment, very family-oriented, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're all happy to have you a part of the RallySport family, so
thanks,
thank you.
man.
So thank you for being here, Patrick.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Everybody go follow Patrick. His Instagram is datpat1988. Again, his Instagram is datpat1988, and his Twitter is datpat88.
Yeah, cool.
Patrick, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, Pete. Yeah.
All right, take care.